Your kids. Testing audio. Oh. Where are we live? Not sure. Wait, shit, are we live? I don't know if we are live or not. This is my first time ever doing something like this. I am reloading my YouTube page on my phone. Gotta see if we're live. Trying something new here. If playback doesn't start, no, I need to fucking know if I'm live. God damn it, computer. Okay. Are we live? It says I'm live, but I don't fucking know. Excellent connection, then work right, god damn it. I'm waiting till it says that I'm fucking live. Because I'm not sure if I am. I'm trying something new here, by the way. I can't see it on my fucking YouTube. So I'm just making sure that this is all working all right. Which I don't know if it is. Okay, is there something on this? Let me reopen YouTube settings. Fucking, it's just saying in stream here, so I'm not sure. I'm live. Okay. Hey guys, James here, and welcome to a stream. This is my first time trying something like this, so hopefully it's working. Let me see if the audio's working just fine. Yep, it is. I'm a bit behind with the thing, but I decided to do a tier list. I meant to put this in the description. Shit. Okay, well, I decided it'll be fun to do a tier list of every Death Battle episode besides the two extra ones that aren't canon. Basically, Vegeta versus Mewtwo and the Death Battle shirt versus the shirt. And this has, if it loads, every episode so far. And this tier list was made by, who was it made by? Sky Blue Blaze. I will put a link to the tier list after the stream and editing, so you can go do this yourself. But basically, I've kind of edited this list to have like this sort of shit, and let me explain. Now there's high, mid, and low, and then the number. High is basically like, it's very close to reaching the next spot, but there's just like that little bit that holds it back. Mid is just, it fits perfectly in that spot. And then low is just, it just makes it into there. Also, if you're wondering why my cursor's a Doki pen, I don't fucking know. But also there's an extra tier, and we'll get to that later. But we're gonna go in release order. And remember, this whole list is my opinion, so yeah, you might have fucking, I don't know, you might have Batgirl vs. Spider-Gwen in high 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna have it like a high 5. So keep that in mind. Also, I don't know. Fuck, there's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the reason why I haven't been streaming is because my computer's been fucking with me a lot, and this is a risk, but it's also a test, but also a test to see if my computer will hold out, so yeah, let's start with Boba Fett versus Samus Aran. And Season 1, I'm gonna rank differently. I'm gonna rank them as if we never had another season of Death Battle afterwards, like this was it. And when thinking about this episode, it kinda gets into that high 4 out of 10. I can only put there, it's the first episode, so yeah, it's aged, but even then, like, looking back at it and just considering this is the only season, there is a lot of weird shit. Boomstick's voice is a surfer dude's. Like, Boomstick and Wiz Well, Ben and Chad, it seems like they're doing opposite things with their voices, where Chad's just doing his normal voice for Boomstick, and Wiz is putting, Ben's putting on an impression to do Wiz's voice. Also, a lot of the jokes just don't land. So, fucking... It is weird seeing Netflix sponsor this episode. So yeah, it's aged, but it has some charm to it. And then Akuma versus Shang Tsung. Right ahead of it. It has that suspense at the end of the fight between, like, who won, because Shang Tsung turned himself into Akuma, or made his appearance in Akuma. So it's like, you're not sure who wins. These two also had the health bars. But, yeah, looking at them now, they're kind of in the same little spot. I can't remember shit the analysis for this one, so that's kind of why it gets put down so much. And Rhodes versus Wonder Woman, even then, this is like a mid 2 out of 10 at best. The rundowns were pretty bad. The outcome is wrong. I can kind of see their logic behind Rogue winning, but that's it. I don't know. What the fuck? Okay, something on me, The jokes were bad, though. And then Goomba versus Koopa. This is a good high 9 out of 10. Which is fucking surprising. Again, we're comparing this to... This was the only season. I want to keep that in mind. This is the only season when we're comparing this. But it's good. And the fight is just fucking epic. The DBX just outshine it now, but that's besides the point. The animation's just not good anymore for any of these fights, except for maybe a few in the later part. The rundowns were good, though. There was good jokes, and I like how they just took the extreme with these pathetic characters. And Hagar versus Zangief, I actually think is one of their better ones of the earlier seasons. I'd say like a mid 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. The rundowns had good jokes. The animation was really funny and didn't last too long. I liked it. And then the Ninja Turtle Royale, like a high 6 out of 10. It's fine. It's fine. That's really it. They fuck over Michelangelo, my favorite turtle, so, yeah. Like, they just completely screwed him over. They did not give shit, except that he does the nunchucks in his rundown. And then, I can take Zitz versus Leonardo just one spot above it. It's just that slight bit better than the Ninja Turtle Royale. Like, it kind of has the same thing going for it, except that it's more of a matchup that makes sense to do than the Ninja Turtle Royale. Yoshi versus Riptor, I'll put it just a spot higher. Like, the rundowns are pretty good, especially for Yoshi. It was interesting to see Boomstick kind of take over with the knowledge department. That was kind of funny, because normally you don't think that. Oh shit, my can of water is empty. I got water, because I tried doing this many times as a regular video, but God, shit kept happening. The animation's decent. The sprites don't mesh in the slightest, but adds more so limitations to these characters, but yeah, I don't think it's too bad. And Felicia versus Talcaka is my favorite episode of the season. Yeah. Both rundowns were really good. While explaining the characters, it was the first fight to have a reason for them to start fighting, because none of these, there was a legit reason. Well, I guess Riptor is just a wild fucking animal, so yeah, that makes sense. Like, none of them had a reason. This was the first one to do that, and it had really great animation and a really great depth. It's honestly one of the few season 1 episodes that still hold up to today's standards. Record, in today's standards, it would not be this high. Like, most of these probably would get to a mid 7 out of 10 at best. Yeah. Really good for season 1. And then Cradles versus Spawn. It's like a mid 1 out. I never really liked this episode. The fight itself is forgettable, except for like one cool shot, but the depth is just weak. That's such a a cool build-up from what I remember, and it's just a shit stuff. I remember nothing from the rundowns. They're just boring as sin. Like, and the sprites are bad. Even back then, the sprites were bad. Impressive that they got a Cradles sprite. This kind of got limited because of its animation. Bomberman versus Dig Dug. I'd say about a low 6 out of 10. Like, it's decent with its animation. It's funny that Dig Dug won, even though he should not have. Then rundowns are pretty decent. It's surprising they're able to make a fucking episode out of Dig Dug of a character. That's kind of it, though. Vegeta versus Shadow. I'd put it about underneath here. You know, I'm considering, you know, we're not, you know, nah, let's not compare these to I'm considering if I should continue comparing them to modern Death Battle. Well, I mean, not to modern Death Battle, just as their own. Because seeing these this high up, yeah, no, let's... Oh, fuck. Okay, Jesus Christ. I gotta be careful not to right click. Otherwise, it might fuck up. Okay, can I move Hagar with Zangief? No, don't, no, damn it, don't tell me. Don't fucking tell me. God damn it. Am I gonna have to restart this shit? Because I right-clicked. Son of a bitch. I might have to delete the stream. God damn it. This is what happened every other time. Something would go wrong. I would have to scrap the entire recording. Only this is a live stream and I can't really scrap a recording this time. I have to scrap it. What the fuck? No. Why is it opening? What the fuck? Why was it opening my download? Okay, there we go. Thank God. Got worried there for a minute. I'm gonna rank these by today's standards. Again, none of them really make it past this. And doing that with these do not make it that high. I would put them there because they have a bit of that charm. But yeah, no. Mid 7 out of 10 is high as these episodes get. And then Mario vs. Sonic. This episode is right only because it uses Archie. I put it above here. I barely remember anything from this episode, but it's good from what I remember. Like, the bits I remember are pretty good. The voice acting especially what saves it. It's just slightly better? I don't know. I mean, it does do some things that are really stupid with the animation, like the fucking time skips that kind of seems dumb. A lot of bits are just eh. And then just... Okay, let's talk about this episode real quickly. I like the episode, but only because I can put myself in the mindset of these are fucking actors doing a scene in a movie. And that's what makes me like the episode. But these are real people, and taking that consideration, it's just like putting hate on these people and having them kill each other. That is kind of what makes me not want to rank it. But if taking it... How do I word this without making me seem like a psychopath? God damn it. Let's consider, like, the timeline where these are not real people, and these are fictional characters that are put in a fight. Let's just do that, and if it was, I would honestly put it at a low 7 out of 10 if these were not real people and these were fictional characters. Because the rundowns have good jokes, the animation is pretty decent, uses Scott Pilgrim sprites. But because this has real people, I am not ranking it. Fucking Luke Skywalker versus Harry Potter. I just realized how terrible this thumbnail is. About here. I don't think it's that bad. Like, Luke's rundown's pretty decent. Neither of the rundowns are that memorable. I always space out during Harry's. But the animation is good for how limited it is. Like, their sprites do not mesh at all. Harry's is meant to be looked at top-down angle, so he has a shadow underneath. and Luke's is meant to look at us from the side. So yeah, they don't match. I know a lot of people opening the water because I'm fucking. I don't talk a lot, so. But I know people don't like it because Harry kind of uses the curse spell that he doesn't use in the movies. I don't really care. I mean, I should, but with this fight specifically, I don't care too much. I'm not a Harry Potter dude. But, yeah, it's kind of where I rank that. Chun-Li versus Mai Shiranumi. I wanted to defend this episode. I really fucking did, but I can't. You know, I'm gonna put this a tier higher just for the fucking drunk driving ad. That's the only thing that makes me put this a tier higher than this. The drunk driving PSA is fucking hilarious. Everything else about it, the sprites are not bad, but it's boring. Like, it has some decent moments with the fight, but nothing that sticks to your head. And then the rundown's pretty bad. Like, this is a case where I want these characters, like many of Season 1 characters, I just want to return to get a better episode. Maybe not these two. Really, most of them. These two, Zangief, Harry, Luke. Definitely fucking Vegeta. I want to learn more about Vegeta, damn it. Yoshi, Riptor, Bomberman maybe. Zitz. These two by far. Rhodes. These two, Cradles. Really, most of them, I just kind of want to get a better episode, because they're really limited by the fucking Season 1 shit. But, yeah, this is bad. Forgettable. Starscream versus Rainbow Dash. I like the pony episodes, if I'm being honest. Like, it's weird seeing these ponies be put, like, these little kid shows, characters that, they're not made for, like, fighting. To be put in a fight to the death. I know a lot of people don't like this episode. I like it. It's fun. It's a fun one. It's silly. And that's what matters. Master Chief versus Doom Guy. I'd say right here. If I can fucking low 7 out of 10. I'm considering low 7 out of 10 or mid 7 out of 10. Low. Like, it's good. The sprites they got for it are good. The animation is decent. It fucking just bounces out their guns. It's been a good bit since I saw a lot of these episodes, so bear with me. But the rundowns were pretty good. Had a good amount of jokes. It was just held back by the animation. And I would like to see this matchup. I can't word. This episode rematched, because I think this would be great to see redone. I know many people say, oh, only Doom Guy fans will see this rematch just so they get their win. I don't give a piss about who wins this one, in full honesty. I want it to be the accurate outcome, yes, but I don't care if it's Master Chief or Doom Guy. If anything, I prefer Master Chief, because at least I've played Halo. I've never played Doom. But I would like to see this rematch, just because this episode is just held back by it being a Sprite episode and not having a 3D fight yet. Dr. Eggman versus Dr. Eggman versus Dr. Wily. I'd put it right here. The animation is decent, albeit somewhat long. I'm not a fan of a good amount. It's hard to say, really. It's decent for Season 1. It's good for Season 1. That's kind of it. Like, the animation's decent for what it is. A Season 1 fight. The rundowns are fine. I mean, good amount of shit has aged with this matchup, and as someone that doesn't really care about Mega Man or Sonic, yeah, it's gonna be that. And it sucks that ends in a draw. That could be worse. And then Zelda versus Peach. Yeah, no, right here. God damn it. I saw I got rid of that thing. Whatever. Zelda versus Peach is good. I agree with the outcome. The soccer ball thing is fucking weird, though, and I don't understand how they're able to put signs on that shit. But the rundowns were good, had many good jokes, and the fight itself was really good. I mean, Zelda's sprite is terrible, but... Oh, excuse me. The camera angles we got in this fight are just satisfying, and there's just many little things that make it a good fight. One that feels aged well. And then 4 versus Raiden, right there too. It has shadows on the sprites, which I love, and I wish Death Battle did more. Put shadows on the goddamn sprites. Also, the animation is really good. Raiden's does not match, and this is a shit stomp as hell. They even admit that now, like nowadays, and say it's the most disappointing one, research-wise. That's good. The animation's also a really good one. I love how over the top the death is. And then Link versus Cloud, the episode all fucking Cloud fans don't like, except for a few. I don't think this is as good as people make it out to be. I'd say it's a high 6 out of 10, and that's really it. Like, the rundowns are decent, but nothing memorable. And the animation for their first go at 3D is fine enough. It has severely aged. Like, and even looking at this in, like, 2016, I did not like the animation. I hear a lot of people bitch about that Cloud should have won. Like, I hear a lot of people, like, compare these two episodes and, like, oh, people only want this to see Doom Guy have a win. Like, people want to see this because they really like the matchup. I think people want to see this because they like the matchup. I don't know. I kind of have a bit of a stigma for this fight. I think because that one dude, but whatever. The one that's in jail. I don't remember his name except for Trap Brothel. But, yeah. Like, the animation's janky. I always hated the death. It always just felt lame to me. Like, Cloud just fucking kneels and accepts his fate with his model not being damaged after the kill, and it's just a big fucking thud, like he was pounding rocks when he hits the ground. Like, Jesus Christ. Also, the arena just does not sell me. Batman vs. Spider-Man. This is surprisingly aged well. It's like their third best episode. Okay, I always like go back and forth. I think this is better than one of the other episodes, but we'll get that bridge. Batman vs. Spider-Man. It has surprisingly not aged that much. The animation's still good, and the rundowns are decent. It's a good episode. The animation's really good. Pikachu vs. Blanca. The rundowns are what saves it. Yeah, the rundowns are kind of what saves it, because seeing Pokemon, like that era of Pokemon being talked about, it just brings joy to my face, because that was the era I grew up with. This was the first Death Battle I really watched. It wasn't the first one I watched as a fan, but it was the first one that I ever saw. And I got super sad as a kid. The death is weak, but kind of funny. It's in that little middle ground. I hear Pikachu should win now. I'm not sure where Blanca scales to. Like, at all. I think people say that Pikachu should have won then. Like I said, no idea where Blanca scales to. I'm not the most knowledgeable on that shit, so... don't hold me accountable for that. But, yeah, I mean, the fight itself was pretty decent. It's one of those matchups that you question why the fuck it was made. I don't know, I heard talk about, like, maybe the 151st episode, if it's not Dio vs. Alucard, will be Pikachu vs. Banyan. And that is better than it being Ash vs. Yugi, that's for sure. And then the season finale, Goku vs. Superman. I go back and forth on if I think this is better than this. But I like this more, but it feels wrong having this be second. Like, the 3D has shown it's aged. The math is wrong. Like, I don't even need to know that shit. Like, I don't even have to calculate that shit myself. It's wrong. At least that's what everyone says, and I'm not gonna calculate Dragon Ball or DC. That's scary. Yeah. It's a good fight. Its age is really what stops it from going any higher. And I do think people kind of overhype it. It is their longest fight. I think it's like 10 minutes. Really good, though. Ah, fuck, excuse me. That's season 1. Like, the highest it gets is a mid 7 out of 10, and if comparing it to what it was then, yeah, its highest got a 9 out of 10. A high 9 out of 10. I'll probably move it to a mid or a low 9 out of 10. But yeah, and its lowest is fucking, not counting this, Cradles vs. Spawn at a mid 1 out of 10. So it's kind of all over. It skips 5 completely. But yeah, it's kind of all over. It's mainly good. It's mainly, like, hasn't shown much age. Like, the majority of it is good. There's a good bit in the bottom low, but yeah. Season 1 isn't bad, but it is by far suffers from its weirdness from back in the day. And then next up is He-Man vs. Lionel. And this has aged well. I'd say this is like a mid 8 out of 10, if I'm being honest. Like, we compare these episodes to nowadays standards, at least for the most part. This is a great way to kick off the new season. While I'm not a fan of Lionel's sprite, it just always looked weird to me, especially when it was damaged at the end of the fight. The cheesiness of it is just perfect. The dialogue, I absolutely adore. And just how it starts with He-Man saying, "Come on, whatever the fuck the cat's name is, let's go do what most people say is impossible." It's funny. It just makes sense. The rundowns were really good. I love Boomstick just going fucking berserk over the bullshit of these characters. And I would love to see Mumra versus Skeletor, just to see more weird 80s shit. That'd be fun. And then Shao Kahn versus M. Bison. Low 5 out of 10, if I'm being honest. God, I do not talk much. I've been taking so much water. But the rundowns are okay. All I really remember is Captain Planet, he's our hero, with M. Bison. And M. Bison's fucking end clip, like transition clip of fucking him just saying that he killed his own parents, so you don't see me complaining. I don't know why, that just sticks in my head as being funny. I don't know why. But that's kind of it I can put for this episode. Like, the animation is good for early Death Battle, because like the first few, I think up to here, these two as well, yeah, they're more comparable to season 1. I guess apparently this, because this shit was fun. But yeah, the animation is fine enough. Sprites don't mesh well, but that's just Mortal Kombat sprites. It's kind of just a low 5 out of 10. It's forgettable. And then Ryu, whatever the fuck, versus Strider. No, I put it above this, because it has good animation. Just the rundowns are forgettable as all hell. Like, I could watch it, tell me about, like, right after finishing the episode, ask me, tell me something about the rundown. I'm like, a guy could slice metal with his hands. That's it. That's all I can really tell you. I hear it's wrong. I don't know enough about these characters to really say if it's right or wrong, but going by the fact that Ryu's sprite looks like a basic ninja sprite, and Strider has a more unique looking sprite, no shit who's gonna win. The death is cool. Like, the death is really cool. Yeah, just because the death, it puts that load. The animation's good. IB, really forgettable. And then Ivy versus Orchid. Yeah, it's forgettable. This is my least favorite of the season by far. Like, the animation is just bland. There was, like, one joke. Like, the boobs thing, that was the best thing about it. Feels weird to say that, but yeah. Like, the whole fucking flashing scene in the fight, that was awfully funny. Like, just fucking Ivy, not Orchid, flashing her tits. She's like, That's no real tits. Huzzah! I don't know why, that's just the only thing I found entertaining. The death is pretty creative, turned into a frog. I hear this one's also wrong, but I don't care. Fox Mccloud versus Bucky O'Hare. This one's not bad. I can't say it's a high 7 out of 10. I can say though it's right. It's about the lowest of the mid 7 out of 10s right now. It's good. It has good animation. It's all about Bucky. I would love to see more shit in Death Battle with lesser known characters like Bucky, because that would be cool. That would be great to see. I know a lot of people bring in like numbers with the views and the revenue, and if this character's not going to do well, it's just. I always thought that was a stupid argument, because fucking Bucky O'Hare. Who the fuck knew of Bucky O'Hare? The argument always felt dumb. I mean, it's like modern Death Battle, which doesn't make too much views in comparison to like some of the older episodes, like where the fuck? This got the first episode. This is the first episode to ever reach 1 million. And it's a stupid battle. But still, like, we got Bucky O'Hare in Death Battle. The rundowns were good. Well explained Bucky. Like, Bucky takes the show for me, despite I think more people watch it from Mccloud. Yeah, good episode. Terminator versus RoboCop. I say about here. It's shown its age with its animation. RoboCop's model looks weird. His mouth movements is just what the hell? It's like fucking. Like, imagine those like skits YouTubers would do, and like they're talking, but the lip syncing isn't right. So yeah, it's like that with RoboCop. The fight's good. The jetpack comes out of nowhere at the end. The rundowns were good. It's just boggled down by its age, since it's fucking the third 3D fight and the first fight that Torian was in, with stiff moving characters. And Luigi versus Tails. A high 2 out of 10. Considering here, it's a low 2 out of 10. I just really love Luigi, and they just fucked him over hard. I'm not sure if Tails would win with Archie scaling, because they used Archie back in the days for Tails. But, I don't know, just the vibe of the episode. Like, the rundowns were good. They had a lot of good jokes, like the fucking eraser cannon Luigi's rundown. Like, that was a good joke. But they just shafted over Luigi so hard. Like, and the fucking fight itself, it just felt like Tails had the upper hand all fight long. And so it kind of made me feel like, oh, maybe Luigi will get that win. Like, get the win at the end of it. And, because we've been following Luigi mainly the whole fight, while Tails is just fucking dominating the whole thing. So it kind of gives that feeling like, oh, maybe Luigi will come in at the end of it to take that win. But no, fucking, he just gets shafted hard. And the whole radish thing is fucking stupid. And apparently it's in a dream, so Christ almighty. Also, the sprite choice for Luigi is weird. I don't know why they picked Dream Team with all sprites, but whatever. And then the Pokemon Battle Royale. This episode has shown its age pretty easily. I still say it's like a mid 7 out of 10, but right above there for its animation. Like, the rundowns, it suffers from it being only a 12-minute long episode. And we have fucking 3 characters to talk about. And then, like, what, a free 5-minute fight that does not leave, as well as the time you need to talk about why Blastoise won. And it's the most accurate death battle to date, but I think what holds it back is just the time it came out. Death Battle has always staggered with these battle royales, in my opinion, where they don't focus on a character long enough. So it just feels like there's not a lot to remember in the rundowns. Also, Venusaur just got brutally murdered, and I love Venusaur, so... But the fight itself is really good. It's well animated. I like how they incorporated these stats and all stats, these powers, attacks, all that shit into the fight. It was well done, creative. But the rundowns have like 1, maybe 2 good jokes each. That's it. And then there's nothing else to really remember about them. I think just its era when it came out is what holds it back. And Fulgor versus Sector, fucking... like a mid. Like a mid. Okay, the title pisses me off. It's... Fuck, this is Fulgor and this is Sector. But I think the title is Sector versus Wait, no. I think it is Fulgor versus Sector, but it's Killer Instinct. Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct. And it's something like that, and I always hated that. Have the title match the characters in the thumbnail. Why is that so hard? It should not be. It should be easy as hell. How do you ruin it? The fight itself is okay. Nothing really to comment on about it. It's decent. It kind of feels like something that really only happens in this season. Like back in this sort of day. When it could still happen this season, it's just not too likely. I don't know. I mean, the rundowns are forgettable. Like, I forgot about these characters' whole thing. So, yeah, I don't know. The fight makes up for it with at least matching sprites, but that's about it. Godzilla versus Gamera. I'm really considering a high out of 10. Yeah, fuck it. Low 9 out of 10. This fight still holds up. Okay, first of all, these rundowns for this episode, it's just amazing. Both are really good and makes me actually want to watch the Godzilla and Gamera films. The fight itself is also really good. It just is held back by 2 things. Excuse me. 1, the water animation, that's more so a nitpick. But 2, how slow it is. Jesus Christ. Like, I get it, they're giant monsters, but it feels so slow with the actual fight. Like, Jesus. It takes so long to do something. It just has that feel to it, which kills it for me. It makes me... It could almost be a fucking 10 out of 10. Or a high 9, mid 9. One of those 2. It's just so slow. Everything else about those is really great. And then Batman vs. Captain America. Right here. The rundowns are decent. The animation is good. I like the death. That's kind of it. It's a filler episode, so yeah. And this was the first time we got a returning combatant. That's kind of it. It's not bad. Could be worse, but it's not bad. The Tiger Zord versus Gundam Epion. Right here. I mean, I'm still fucking confused on Gundam as a whole, but it's really good. It's kind of an underrated episode from this season. The animation's great. The sprites clash well with each other. The voice acting's really good. Albeit the weapon's last line, the flute sword thing's last line is "Son of a bitch!" Like that line. It's a bit too loud and hard on the ears. Outside of that, though, it's really good. Animation's really great. The voice acting's great, so it's the dialogue. The jokes in the fight's also really good. Like, when the Tiger Zord punches Gundam Epion in the chest and it doesn't explode, and just the fucking sword says, "That defies all logic!" It's stupid, but it works. Makes me kind of interested in Power Rangers. Ryu versus Scorpion. I got high 5 out of 10. I hear a lot of people not like it because Ryu should have won. That's not why I don't care about it. I just forget it exists. It's like a rivalry matchup too. I just forget this fucking happens half the time. I mean, the rundowns are fine. I always in my head, I just remember Scorpion baking a fucking cake in this episode. I don't remember if it's actually in it, because when I rewatched it, I don't think I saw it, but it feels so familiar. Also, the comparison of the Scorpion to Charlie Brown, of all fucking characters, and him rolling down the stairs is funny. The sprites mesh well, and it's like the only time a fucking Mortal Kombat sprite, well, second time, but one of the few times a Mortal Kombat sprite actually looked good. The fight's decent, it has good animation, the death is weak, and that's kind of all I can give it. It's not bad, but it's really forgettable. And then Deadpool versus Deathstroke. How could I not? I mean, the ending is a bit weak in terms of how it was animated. I feel like it was a bit more out of the time, like time restricts, so. The rundowns are really good, it well explains the characters, and it got me really interested in Deadpool. I have a shit ton of Deadpool comics I gotta read once school starts. But the animation's really good. Outside like some of the glares, it's really good, well animated. I like the rundown. I love Deadpool just fucking with Whiz and Boomstick. I like it. Kirby versus Majin Buu. The controversial episode, apparently. This was the third death battle I've ever watched. Second or third. The second or third, whichever one Kirby versus Majin Buu isn't, that I've watched is the Pokemon Battle Royale. I'd say a high 7 out of 10. This one's really good. The animation still holds up. The rundowns are good. I am a bit confused though with the Kid Buu and the Majin Buu thing. Like when Kid Buu was in Kirby's stomach galaxy. Well, no, when Majin Buu was, and then Kid Buu kind of came and destroyed it. I'm not caught up with Dragon Ball Million, the Piccolo arc right now, the original Dragon Ball. But I thought that was the same character. I don't know. I was always confused by that. It was a really good fight. Also, I saw one meme out there, like, any rematch episode that features a Nintendo character will change. And any rematch episode that features a Dragon Ball episode will not change. So it's an unstoppable force next to an immovable object. I found that funny. Ragna versus Soul Bad Guy. And about here. I don't know. There's not really much for me to talk about with this one. Sprite Smash. Actually, I'll move it up to a low 5 out of 10. I'll go back and rewatch it every now and then. Yeah, right there. It has the jokes I like, though apparently a lot of the Blaze Blue shit was explained. But I started rewatching some of the podcasts. Apparently Nick, the guy that did this episode, because, Batman already has some research, it was easy to get into. This was his first episode, brand new to researching, and then he did this. I was just rewatching some of the old podcasts, but watching for the first time, and that was the order of saying, so like, just picking up your child, like going to the pool the first time, just dipping their feet in in the shallow end of the pool, then going straight to the ocean and chucking them in the middle with this shit. I don't know. I would love to see these franchises make a return to Death Battle, especially Blaze Blue after playing the cross tag battle. But yeah, the rundowns had decent jokes. The fight itself is decent. It's forgettable. Apparently it's wrong. I don't know. The fucking beast things, they look generic as hell. I don't know, that's kind of it. Gar versus Toph. I'd say about here. It's not bad. I guess this was a very controversial episode when it came out, because people weren't sure if it's right or wrong. I think what the general statement was is that it was right at the time, but then Gara became a metal bender, basically, and now it's wrong. I don't fucking know. I wasn't in Death Battle at the time. I mean, the fight's good. Voice acting's decent. The animation's fine. The fucking sand, though, looks pretty shite. And the death is weak. That's kind of a decent analysis, though. And then Samus versus Boba Fett Remastered. About a mid-8 out of 10. The animation's really good. Like, the animation's the best takeaway of this. They expanded on the original rundowns and made them far better while keeping the good jokes. And it was a good Monty Ohm tribute. I'm hoping in Season 8, in the second half, we get another Monty Ohm tribute. This is being streamed between Link vs. Cloud 2 and Batman vs. Iron Man. This is August 13th. So, hope to God. This is a good episode. Good episode. Good Monty Ohm tribute. Chuck Norris vs. Segata Sanshiro. Ah, the good memeage. Okay, you know, no. Where do I put it? It's hard to actually think about this shit. High 9 out of 10. The rundowns are fucking hilarious. It taught me about Sega Sanshiro, and I want to watch all those commercials and buy a Sega Saturn. Is that what he was trying to protect? The Sega Saturn was Sega Genesis? I don't remember. I think it was Sega Saturn. Point is, I want to get that console, even though I don't know. I like how they just overhype these characters. They use a JoJo sprite for Chuck fucking Norris. I don't remember. I think it was King of Fighters for Sega. The fight was just bizarre as fuck. I love it. I love how destructive it got, and I love that it is still referenced to this day. I'm not sure if it made an appearance yet in the current season of Death Battle. I know it did in a DBX. I'm not sure if it appeared just yet in Death Battle, though it likely will for the fucking. Well, it might for Galactus vs. Unicron as season finale. Or Batman vs. Iron Man if it goes to that point. I don't know. Guts vs. Nightmare. Many people say this is wrong. I don't care. I actually really like this episode. About here. It made me interested in Berserk, even though I'm probably never going to read it for my own safety. I hear people say it's wrong. The reasoning for why Guts won is wrong, but I think it's funny enough for me not to. I think the reasoning, like the post analysis on why Guts won, is funny enough to where even if it's wrong, I don't want it to be right because it's just funny. It's because some of the jokes they made, but the animation is really good. And the voice clips they used matched well. It was a really good episode. It makes me interested in Berserk, and I would love to see Berserk back in Death Battle. And Soul Calibur, so they're not on a 2-0 streak. The only character that have more than one loss is with no wins. And then Iron Man versus Lex Luffer. That's a perfect episode. What can I say about this I haven't said about it? The rundowns are just amazing. It's felt with good jokes while explaining the characters. The animation is great, even still today's standards. And the voice acting is amazing. And the fight itself is really great. A lot of these I can't say a lot to that hasn't been said, but this is a really good episode. Perfect episode. One of the perfect ones. And then another filler episode, Beast vs. Goliath. I'd say about here. It does make me interested in the characters, but this is just a flat-out obvious filler episode between the two of the best episodes in the entire show. Like, the rundowns for the characters are good. And the animation, the sprites are good, even though Goliath doesn't match the best with it. And if these two were beastly fighters, then yeah, the animation would be very accurate. But the animation is not. These are like civil characters. Like, they're not the ones that would go out in a full brutal brawl. They would just read a book. And what they do in this is fight like wild animals, which is the opposite of their characters. Like, the rundowns can't stop me from putting this any lower, but yeah, they definitely botched these up. The animation's good, it's just horribly fucking tells their characters. Also, the whole golden tree feat is like the most memorable thing of it, and that's sad. I would like to see Gargoyles in another episode. And then Solid Snake vs. Sam Fisher, my favorite episode of the whole series. The rundowns, perfection. It well explains both characters, as well as give great jokes. Give great jokes. I can't word. Also gives more intel and whiz and boomstick as people, as characters. And with the fight itself, it's just beautiful. I love the reasoning for them fighting. I love the stealth shit. I just love it. It's perfect. I love the music used. And just, the death is also, well, brutal. I like it. It's a good episode. Darth Vader vs. Dr. Doom. Another filler episode. And I would honestly put it at a mid 5 out of 10. There's not a lot to really talk about it. The rundowns are fine, albeit forgettable. The fight itself, it looks good. I wish you could see Darth Vader's sprite, but it's not that bad. Like, you could still see it. I wish it was more visible though, because it blends in easily with the dark background when they're in space. The fight itself's fun, but not really a lot to talk about with it. That's kind of it. Goku vs. Superman 2. About here. Yeah, I mean, the models look better in this one. The animation is good. I like the score made for it alive. Oh yeah, the score for this is good. Not really anything I remember though. But I like alive. The rundowns are fine. What's the rundowns? I think they're rundowns. I don't remember. I think they demonstrated the fight. It's been a while. That's kind of tells you about the rundowns. I don't remember shit of the rundowns. I don't even think they were any rundowns. I think they said, like, oh, they're new super forms and jumped straight into the fucking fight. And, like, the death, I understand why it's weak. I didn't like the death at first, but then understanding, like, why it was like that, and why Superman didn't use his all-out attack, I understand. It was trying to portray that no matter what, Superman is gonna win. Their reasoning was kind of just one that they just rehashed from this one. But the main reason why I kind of rank it so low is just, why does it exist? At least this early. Like, I can understand, like, doing Goku vs. Superman 2, like, 10 years later, after the first Goku vs. Superman. Or maybe during a anniversary season, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Don't do it this season, though. But, like, years and years later, not, like, 3 years after, where, like, these characters got so much more new stuff that you can, like, make more of a fight out of it. I think the best time to have done this one is 10 years after the original one came out. That would have been the best time to do it, because then Goku and Superman will have a bunch more new shit that you could pull from. Especially Goku! Yeah, that's where it goes. And then Donkey Kong versus Knuckles. Yeah. The only thing that bugs me with that episode is Donkey Kong sprite. That's the only thing, and Knuckles only says so no. But that's besides the point. Really, just make the bottom half of the torso like the chest and not all just hair. Perfect. Would have been perfect. That's about the only thing wrong with the animation. The rundowns were amazing. I really liked the jokes in it. It taught me that there's a fucking Donkey Kong show. I hear some Sonic fans say this is wrong, but any Sonic episode that a Sonic character takes the L, you know they're going to try to argue the death that Sonic character should have won and how they're sexy and all that. No hate on the Sonic community, just saying. But, yeah. I mean, I really like the animation. I really like the rundowns. Go for good. I heard the Sonic fans say that they really dumbed down Knuckles because they were using mainly Boom Knuckles for his intelligence, but they kind of also dumbed down Donkey Kong. He's not that stupid. He has a bit of intelligence. I don't think it matters. I don't think it really changed the outcome. I'm glad it was this and not some other fucking Sonic or Mario matchup with these characters. Wolverine versus Raiden. I hear people, why the fuck's my computer lagging? Oh god, no. Please, no. Please, no. No, respond, please. This is what I feared about doing this. Son of a bitch. Dude, this is what I fear. Okay, thank god. Come on. Come on. Load. Thank you. Wolverine versus Raiden. Jesus Christ. I'd say about here. I know many people would put this at a higher spot, but I'm not like many people, apparently. I don't know. I mean, the rundowns are good. I really like, I'm gonna put it here, but not above these two. Rundowns are both really good. And the animation is phenomenal. I really love the voice acting too, and the score made for it, EXO, I think it is a really great score. It sounds just like something from Metal Gear Rising. It doesn't stick in my head as much as, like, other 3D fights for the season. Like, all the ones above it. I don't know. I mean, it's a great episode, don't get me wrong. I just think it gets outshined a bit more by other episodes of the season that are in 3D. Hercule Satan versus Dan Hibiki. Another great episode. I'd say about here. It's a really good episode that I think is kind of on the show nowadays. Like, the rundowns were both good, it well explained the characters, and the fight's also really good. I love the animation, I love the setting, I just love how both characters are fucking pathetic. I love the death. It's stupid. It does not make... I guess it's the most random-ass death, but it's creative. Punched him so hard he turned into a jukebox. The voice acting is also really good for both characters. I really like the episode. It's a really good episode. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. And then, ooh boy, Yang versus Tifa. Yeah. God. Okay. First of all, I do not think Yang should have won. Tifa, objectively, should have won. Like, even the team agree. Even Ben agrees now that, yeah, Tifa should have taken that win. I know everyone says this is like one of the worst episodes of the show. I don't agree. I really like both rundowns, and it has good jokes. Also well explained the characters, and actually makes me pretty interested in Tifa as a character. The fight itself is also really good. Yes, Tifa's model could have been better. It could have. But the cinematography of the fight and the impact of the punches well make up for it, in my opinion. The fight itself is really good, with characters just fucking beating each other up. I know Final Fantasy fans hate this episode, but I love it. It's good. Record if it was not for what is apparently a Ruby-free banter coming in on the end on the fucking Tifa's body, I did not know that was something from Ruby for the longest time. I honestly did not. I just thought it was just something cool that somebody made, just as a general thing. But no, it's fucking Ruby sponsorship. That does put it down for me. Because if it was not for that, and that, oh, I had to go watch Ruby to figure out the next fucking episode, this honestly would be a mid 9 out of 10. But the fucking sponsorships is what makes it go at a 7. Those two fucking sponsorships. But everything else about the episode, I just really like, and that's why I can't play it any lower. Mega Man vs. Astro Boy. I hear Mega Man say this is wrong. I don't know Mega Man scaling from what they gave. I think it's right, but looking back at it now, yeah, it's only a 6 out of 10. I mean, the rundowns were good, especially Astro Boy's. I love a lot of the fucking jokes in Astro Boy's and rundown. The fight itself is pretty decent. I mean, Mega Man kind of just going out and just fighting Astro Boy is a bit out of character, but if I had to take a guess, the reason why Mega Man just went rampant on Astro Boy is because in Mega Man's analysis they said that if Mega Man has too many of these robot things on hand, then he goes fucking ballistic and does robo-genocide. I'm assuming that was the context of it. I don't know. Astro Boy sprites do kind of hold it back, but I think that's more just to limitations. But I think the game the Astro Boy sprites came from, there's only like 2, maybe 3 to choose from. There was not a lot to go for Astro Boy sprites. I would like to see Astro Boy return. But, yeah. I think the outcome's right. I don't know. And then Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Honestly, pretty good. Low 8 out of 10. One episode that's kind of overshadowed. Like, the rundowns are both actually really good for the character. Really good and well explains these characters. And then the fight itself is also really good. It uses sound clips from their shows that oddly fucking fit and made me think this was voice acted with very talented voice actors. And it's surprising how well these voice clips go with each other. And the fight itself is really interested in seeing the arrows being used, like the trick arrows being used, and them countering each other. I love the fucking boxing glove arrow. That shit was funny. The death is good in concept, but had a weak execution, in my opinion. I don't know. And then the whole Black Canary thing at the end is fucking terrible and disrespectful. Yeah, really good episode. Underrated. And then Pokemon versus Digimon. Just call it Red and Charizard versus Tai and Agumon. I'd say it's about a mid 9 out of 10. For the longest time, I did not know what the original ending was, but I guess the original ending was fucking Red hugging Charizard while saying, "I'm sorry," before getting burnt to a fucking crisp. That shit was dark. But I really liked the episode. Outside of the Pokemon are slaves comment, that shit just is a no-go. I really like it. And I think this is also part of a reason why Astro Yugi should never be coming a thing, but that's his own idea. That's his own video. If I decide to do that. But the rundowns were both really good and well explained, the Pokemon and the Digimon. The fight itself is also really good. The animation's good. I like how it shows like the power difference between like Charizard and then Agumon then Charizard, but then Agumon Digivolves into Greymon, and how that's a power difference, and then Charizard Mega Evolves and the Mega Charizard X, and it beats Greymon, and then Greymon Mega Evolves. E. Okay. I love how it shows, like, oh, how these characters have an advantage over the other. And then, like, Digimon fucking shit stomps Pokemon. So, that's kind of what makes me play a 9 out of 10. I like it. It's kind of questionable for a season finale, but I do also understand the logic. Because, like, Goku vs. Superman is like a long time request of a matchup. Like, who would win between these two characters? And this kind of has the same thing. Record's more so like a shout, like, winning that bet on the playground. And it kind of has that. Has a long time rivalry. It is the Pokemon rivalry. So yeah, that makes sense to do. And that was season 2. It's definitely better than season 1 by a landslide. Like, we have my favorite episode of the whole series here. We got 2 high talent ends. And a lot of episodes that made it past fucking mid 7 out of 10, which is where season 1 kind of tapped out on. Has a lot of good episodes. And while it does have some stinkers, it does have a good amount of episodes. Now I'm in this weird middle ground here, that was surprising. But season 3. This was the season that got me in the death battle, and it's the season not a lot of people like. Starting with Dante versus Bayonetta, which already is a mid 10 out of 10. We started out great with this season. The rundowns are both really good, and it got me to play fucking Bayonetta. I gotta beat that game still. And it makes me want to play Devil May Cry. I hear people say it wrong, say it's English. I hear people say it's wrong. I'm not sure. I don't know really where these scale to. I heard the fucking, D1? That's not it. It's not D1. G1. I heard, like, G1 blogs kind of debunked, Devil May Cry from Universal to I Think Island? I don't know. I have not checked that out yet because I'm not too interested in Devil May Cry scaling. But I still like it. I think it might be one of those cases where it was right at the time, or at least debatable. I don't fucking know. But the runs down were both really good, and I really liked the animation. It felt fast-paced, it had a lot of action to it. I really loved the voice acting. The only thing that kind of stops me from a high 10 out of 10, as a big fucking nitpick kind of thing, but still, is the hair physics for these characters, besides Dante, just because he doesn't really have that as much. But so many times in the fight that fucking Dante, Jeans, and whatever her name is, I don't remember, their hair just looks like fucking paintbrushes, like, being slammed down, not slammed down, but pushed down against something. So, like, the hairs on the paintbrush is all spread out all over the place. And that's what the hair physics look like in this fight so much. I guess, like, early weirdness to 3D, but still. And then Bowser versus Ganon. Yeah, right here. I want to put that higher, too. Okay. One, the rundowns are both boring as sin. Like, those rundowns are so boring and forgettable. Then the fight itself, the sprites don't mesh well. Like, they're good on their own, but not together. The fucking... Also, the fight itself is slow and boring. The outcome's wrong. In general, the outcome's wrong, but that doesn't affect the quality of the episode. Given the fact I fucking put Yang versus Tifa here. And fucking Guts versus Nightmare above it. But, and then the reasoning, too, is just stupid. Fucking magic lava. I also like Ganon's, I mean, not Ganon. I also really like Bowser, so that might be part of it. Like, also why this gets so low, where, like, maybe someone that really likes Tails, that would go higher. Even people that like Ganon doesn't like this matchup. That matchup, this episode. I don't know. This would be cool to see rematched, but I don't fucking know. Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter. This is weirdly enough like a mid 8 out of 10. And I don't even know shit about these franchises. Or characters. The only thing I knew was the Ratchet and Clank movie, but apparently it's just cutscenes from the game. Which, how the hell do you sell that off as a movie and people pay to see? I don't get it. But, yeah. The animation is really good, the voice acting, dialogue's really good. I mean, the Daxter's voice is a bit ear-grating at points, but that's about it for, like, the bad things with the voice acting. I really like, though, how Ratchet and Clank's weaponry kind of clashes with Jak and Daxter's magic. It's really cool. I really like the episode. It's kind of talked about. And the episode that got me into Death Battle, like, this was the most recent episode out when I started getting the Death Battle and binge watched all the episodes. Flash versus Quicksilver. And so it holds a bit more importance to me than it might to others. But looking back, it has shown its age. The rundowns are good. I will give them that. The rundowns are good for something like this. The animation is also really good. I hear people complain it's slow, like it feels slow. I never really felt that. It felt like a longer episode, but I think that's kind of just how all these early episodes feel longer, because they are. They don't have to kind of have a score length to go with it. But I really like how the fight kind of takes place when no time is moving, though I always found it weird with the tornado scene, how it's just a guy flying in there and the birds flying around in the sky. Unless they're just not moving. I don't know. But the animation's really good. I like seeing the characters are racing while fighting. That's cool. I hope, like, the next speedster-related fight we have, it starts out as a race. It was a really good episode, though. And it does have some importance to me, so there's a bit of bias to that one. And then Joker vs. Sweet Tooth. Another episode I think is kind of looked past nowadays. And I would put it right here. It's a really good episode. The rundowns for both Joker and Sweet Tooth are really good. I like how the fights start out as a vehicle fight. And I like that fucking Sweet Tooth just bitch slaps Joker. Like on 2 separate occasions. This Joker, before the first one, just says, when he... Oh wait, no, it's not for the first time. Wait, shit. I'm recalling the episode wrong. Fuck. When Joker falls out of the vehicle and Sweet Tooth just charges at him in the car, and he just says, "Let's get wild," before blowing a hole in his tire. Also, like when Joker and Sweet Tooth fight within the Sweet Tooth mobile, saying, and just Joker, "Okay, that's funny," before getting bitch slapped into a pipe. I do hear that the 2 times where, like, there's 2 times in the fight where Joker should have died, but he didn't. I don't know. He probably should have, but still. It's a really good fight, and one that's kind of looked past nowadays. I really like it. And then Mewtwo vs. Shadow. Many people's least favorite episode. One that I would put here. Okay, fuck. The rundowns are good. I like the rundowns for this one. It has good enough jokes. And the animation itself isn't bad. The voice acting for Shadow being purposely bad doesn't work. And, yeah. But the animation itself isn't too bad. Record, I don't like it as much as I did when I watched it the first time when I was a kid in 6th grade or some shit. But I still think it holds up decently well. God, was it 6th grade? Holy shit. No, it was summer, I think. I don't know. That's so long ago. 2016. Yeah. I mean, Mega Mewtwo, why just kind of shows up, minds erased, just play some Minesweeper, and then spooned up PNG's Shadow, which the death is funny. Even people that don't like this episode says that the death is funny, because it is. It's a good death. It's unique. It's spooned up PNG. I like it because it kind of has some of that nostalgia factor to it. It has a bit of charm for me. I don't know. Meta vs. Carolina. I also really like this episode. I'd say it's about here. I mean, I did not know what the hell Red vs. Blue was when this episode came out, so I was just confused. I thought it was just 2 Halo characters fighting. But no, apparently Red vs. Blue is a series. I did not know that. It was a sponsorship in a way. But now knowing that Red vs. Blue is a thing, it's kind of fun seeing the Red RVB cast interact with Boomstick. And that's always kind of entertaining. And the fight itself is really good. I love how it's the score, which I don't remember the name of. There's lyrics whenever Carolina has the lead, but whenever the meta has the lead, it just has silence for the lyrics. It's just I can't word to save my fucking life. It's just instrumental. I love that little touch. The lyrics, the lyrical parts sound good, but when you listen to the lyrics, it's a little weird. It's just, if you're not listening to the lyrics, it's really great, but once you actually know the lyrics, it's like, yeah, you're going down. Oh, you're going down. You're totally going down. It's just, you're going down. It's like, what the fuck? Who's thought of this shit? I don't know. I like it. It's not the best death battle out there, but I really like it. And then Cammy versus Sonya. Jesus Christ. You might know. It's here. It's bad. Like, I forgot this episode. Even when it first came out, all I remember about the episode is Boomstick losing a bet to Wiz about talking about Cammy's suit. That is dead ass all I can remember. Oh god. I'm looking at the fight now. Holy shit, is it terrible. Okay, for some reason, Sonya's rundown, the music is a bit louder than Wiz and Boomstick. I don't understand why it is only for Sonya's. Like, how? The fuck? Well, I guess it is using different mute. I don't know. I don't know all that shit, so. But the fight itself is boring, and these sprites are just ugly. They do not mesh well. It's forgettable too. It's brutal, but the only things I can remember are the death. Like, that's mainly what I remember. Just Sonya fucking breaking Cammy in half with her legs. That's all I fucking remember. It is a forgettable filler episode. Tracer vs. Scout. Not a lot of people like this episode. I consider it a good, not an 8 out of 10, about here. I like Tracer vs. Scout. Yes, I do agree, Scout should have been running more, and the missile feat, I think, should have been included. Because there's still the blast radius. Still the impact of that blast. I do think it's right. I just think that's kind of just TFT fans being angry. I do think the outcome is right. I think Tracer would have won. The animation's good. Apparently the voice for Scout offered his voice, but by the time that he did, the voice acting was already done and the episode was almost complete, so. But the voice acting for them still sound great. It sounds just like the characters. I like it. I understand why people may not like it, but I like it. And then, Ken versus Terry. This episode has Death Battle in the title twice for some reason. About here, probably. It's not bad, it's just forgettable. Like, for the longest time, I even forgot who won. I think it was the lowest viewed episode of the longest amount of time. Like, in general. I don't know. The fight itself's fine. The rundowns are forgettable. But the fight itself isn't bad. It has many weird moments I think could have been tweaked to match more. And the death itself, though, is pretty bad. Like, how the death should have gone is Terry doing the whole fucking lasers out of the ground thing, but as Ken is fucking in the beam of light, Terry jumps up and crushes his head, like how he did in the actual fight, before saying, okay, once the screen sees him. I don't know, I think that would have been better than what we got. It just felt weak. Amy versus Ramona. Many people do not like this episode because Amy won. And I honestly would put it here. Okay, maybe not there. Here, about, yeah. I remember people saying this one's wrong, and when, like, early when it came out, and how the fuck is it wrong? Scott Pilgrim isn't exactly the strongest. I've heard Country Scott, Country or Continent Scott, I don't remember. And Ramona should scale to that, I would believe, or I would assume. I don't know. Sonic bullshit, man. I don't think Ramona can deal with that. Especially since they're still using a bit of Archie Sonic at the time, so... yeah. But it's a good fight. The rundowns were good. It got me interested in Scott Pilgrim, and hey, now I'm reading the books. Well, I've read all the books. I'm doing a Scott Pilgrim matchup, which I'm waiting for No More Heroes Free to come out to continue, because fuck me, I failed planning. The fight itself's good. I like that they actually used Scott sprites, and they actually clashed well with Amy's. It was a good fight. Good episode. Hulk vs. Doomsday. I think this one's a bit overrated, if I'm being honest. I do consider it, like, a high 8 out of 10. That's as far as I can put it. Like, the rundowns are both really good. And the fight itself is also really good and it's well destructive. The death is also one of the most brutal in the series. And one of the best. I don't know, I just can't put it higher. It's just that little bit of me that says, don't put it higher. It is hot in here. I'm gonna pick the AC up a little bit. Turned off like a bit ago. Try not to drink up all my water. Yeah, miles are good. Zoro versus Urza. This episode's wrong now. I'd say about here. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a bit of biased because Urza is one of my favorite characters of fiction. And this is what got me into Fairy Tail, which is one of my favorite animes. So like a bit of that biasy there. I don't know. The rundowns are good. The outcome's wrong now. I would love to see Urza appear in another death battle, and hopefully one she wins, because biasy towards Urza as a character. If I put her in a fight, I'm gonna toss that biasy aside against all my better judgment. But the fight itself is good. Voice acting's good, so is the dialogue. The death is good and brutal. I like the mountain beam kind of. I just can't put it any higher. I don't know. Even before Urza became one of my favorite characters in fiction, I could only put it there. Yeah, and then Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. This one's hard to judge, because it was not meant to be a season finale, it just fell under that circumstance. But it doesn't seem fair to rank it as a season finale, even though it is one. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna put it right there. I like the episode. It has good rundowns, the jokes are good, and the fight itself is good, and I like how the end is just a fucking joke. I think if it wasn't the season finale, people might give it a better, more of a chance. But it fell under that because, fucking Power Rangers, the Megazord versus Voltron wasn't done yet. So it kind of just fell under being season finale. It makes me wonder what the episode was between this and Power Rangers versus Voltron was going to be. If there was one, but yeah, just kind of there. And that was season 3. Many people don't like it. It holds a spot in my heart for me. Record, yeah, it's not that great, but I like it. I think we got a great episode there. We got 2 bad ones. Got other stuff thrown around in there, but I like it. I like the season. And now season 4, starting with Lara Croft vs. Tomb, Nathan Drake. I don't know. Probably here. Yeah, it's fine. That's all I can really say about it. It's a weak season premiere. Like, the rundowns are fine. Nothing to really remember, though. I like that the death, like the end. I like the death. And that it was Nathan's luck running out. I don't know, just never really felt much of anything to me. Maybe because I don't really know these characters that well. I mean, the animation's fine, the models look good, but that's about it. I can really give it. And Scrooge McDuck vs. Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight fans hate this episode. I consider it a high 8 out of 10. Jesus, I'm ruining my credibility more and more as this list goes on. I assume. I liked the episode. Rundowns were really good, especially with Scrooge. I had a conversation with someone about fucking why I think Ash vs. Lucy is a better matchup than Ash vs. Yugi. I just say it's my opinion. It's fine if he has his. Brought up fucking Scrooge McDuck for Shovel Knight, and he said that they only did this to sponsor the new show. I just got reminded of that shit. It's not important to this, but still. I really like this episode. It's funny, and it's a uniquely animated one, too. I like that they use Shovel Knight's original sprites, not use a custom one. I like the sound effects, too. The death, I also love how fucking brutal it is. And it's just out of fucking nowhere. The duck just goes fucking psycho and cuts off Shovel Knight's head with his own fucking shovel. I like it. I understand why Shovel Knight fans may not like this episode, but I enjoy it. And then Venom vs. Bang. I also like this episode. Now, I'd probably put it at a high 7 out of 10. I hear the complaint that it's a bit too dark to see, and I half agree. I don't know, it is hard to follow at some points, but the rundowns I thought were really good, and the fight itself was good. I also liked the death. Yes, it's a bit hard to follow at some points, but I still enjoy it. Power Rangers vs. Voltron. About here. I mean, the models for the Power Rangers look like they're from the PlayStation 2, and the Voltron models just look weird. It's really good. Oh god, excuse me. The rundowns are great. The fight itself is awesome and action-packed. Love it. Voice acting's good. I can't put it here just because the models of the Power Rangers and the Megazord, not the Megazord, the pilots of Voltron. Besides that, really good episode. Just that those models that makes it not go up any higher. Also, Stronger Together is a fantastic score. Natsu vs. Ace. This is another episode I really like. I'd say about here. The rundowns are actually really good. And the fight itself is well animated. Natsu's voice is a bit ear-grating at moments, but that's about wrong. That's all that's really wrong to see with voice acting. I also really love the death. It's creative. The fight itself is really good too. I like the little computerized animated parts. I don't really know how to describe it. Pixelated parts from the animes. I don't know. And then Sub-Zero vs. Glacius, which is here. There's just the fight. The rundowns themselves are boring and forgettable. All I really remember is just fucking the Sub-Zero bad username joke. That's all I can give it. That's all I can give it. Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. It's not bad. That's all I can really give it. It's not bad. 7 out of 10. Low 7 out of 10. Like, The rundowns are fine. The fight itself's decent, but not really much to talk about with it. I don't know. And then we have Metal Sonic versus Zero, which is a mid 2 out of 10. Yeah. The rundowns are just forgettable. I don't give a shit about these characters. The way they portrayed Zero just made him seem like a whitey bitch. And Metal Sonic is just empty. I really didn't care about the characters, and I didn't really care to see who won. Like, the fight itself's also boring, and those 3D models just look like shit. Like, Jesus, God, they're awful. And the sprites are fine. Also, this fight moves way too fast to remember anything. Oh my God, I'm thirsty. Oh God, sorry. Like, I can't remember nothing from the fight, though. Nothing at all. The rundowns are just boring, too. I said that already, shit. I don't know, this is like one I question why they even did, but whatever. Lucario versus Renamon. Right here. The fight's like barely over a minute, I think. Like, it is so short. The rundowns are fine. That's it. I mean, the sprites look good. I mean, if the fight itself was longer, then I think it would have gone higher. But no, the fight's barely over a minute, I think. So, yeah. And Balrog vs. DJ combo. Easy. The animation's amazing, the rundowns are amazing, the jokes are fucking spectacular, and this is what turned the season around to majority better episodes. Or what felt like better episodes. Because right after we got Shredder vs. Silver Samurai, which is easily a high 9 out of 10. Right there, yeah. The animation rundowns are both really good. I love how brutal the death is as well. Little animated moments are really good. Smokey Bear vs. Scruff McGruff. The ending of it is what kind of knocks it down a few pegs for me. So I'm gonna put it about right here. I don't like the dog yelping the blood. I don't like those. It makes me sad because I like dogs. Other than that, a really good episode. I mean, they do kind of abuse the cartoon sound effects a bit too much. The rundowns are good. Well, the rundowns made me fucking want to know more about these characters. And, God, I wish health classes fucking played the Scruff McGruff songs instead, it's fucking like those drug safety videos that the schools are forced to play, like don't do cigarettes, don't do coke, don't get laid at the age of 13 or something. Like, if schools have to show us the terrible 80s videos of that shit, play the Scruff McGruff songs. Please play the Scruff McGruff songs, because that shit is hilarious. And I just always have the crack and cocaine in my head. Oh, it's so silly. It's so fucking silly. And then 4 versus Wonder Woman. This happened. That's all I can give it. I don't know. Fucking. Here. There's nothing really to remember about it. The rundowns are both boringly forgettable. The fight itself's decent, it's just unfinished. That's kind of the biggest issue. It's an unfinished episode because it's destroying so many computers. Like, there are some cool moments, like fucking chucking Wonder Woman on the moon and then destroying the moon. And the death is stupid. The idea of the death is good, but there is obviously missing frames, which comes from this being an unfinished fight. Also, apparently this is wrong. I got no idea where the hell they scale to, so God knows, but I don't know. And their numbers are wrong. I don't know. It kind of just goes here. It's nothing bad, but yeah. Then Naruto versus Ichigo. About here. Yeah. It's a really good episode. The rundown's really good and explains the characters at the best possibility. The fight itself is also incredible. I really like the fight. It's fast-paced and I like it. The animation's also really good. Sprites and voice acting are great. I love how Ichigo went down swinging even though he had no chance. He picked up a stick like, I'm gonna get you. So good. Screw you, bastard! Yeah. And then Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2009. Like, the rundowns are decent. It makes me interested in Batman Beyond as a character. That's kind of it that I can give it. The fight itself is way too fast. I mean, the sprites are good. I think if the fight was at least a minute longer, like, it barely gets over 2 minutes. Like, maybe if the fight took place more in the sky, because that's where it really felt like it was going at a good speed. But no, we got what we got. A quick, empty feeling fight. And then Sephiroth versus Virgil. And about here. It's a good episode. Looking back at it, it's pretty decent. Good rundowns and good animation. Still kind of confused why it's the season finale, but whatever. I mean, the episode's not bad. The score's decent. That was season 4. I honestly consider it weaker than season 3. I don't know, just a lot of episodes kind of suffer from being forgettable, or just downright bad. Like, this is forgettable, this is forgettable, this is terrible. This is forgettable terrible, but yeah. Like, a lot of these episodes just lack the impact. Then we're on to season 5, with Batman vs. Black Panther. And I'd honestly put it about here. I mean, the rundowns are decent. The fight itself isn't bad. I liked it. Batman's just opening, listening to fucking J-pop of all things. Like, what the... It's funny. It's really funny. It shouldn't be. I really like the depth, though. Because it involves whales. Whales are gifts from God. Raven versus Twilight Sparkle. I actually really like this episode. I really like Raven vs. Twilight Sparkle. The rundowns are really good, and the animation I really like. I like how the fight just starts with Raven playing with ponies. And just being teleported there, and then they start fighting. I love the fight too, and how it uses their magic. The fucking Soul Self just looks incredible too in hand-drawn animation. I love how abrupt the death is, because it's built up to it, and then just like, Twilight just says, sorry to soil your fun, I've turned into a pod plant, and then the bird just goes, meow, like a fucking kamikaze plane. It just fucking obliterates her. Obliterates Twilight. I love it. I hear people not like it, and I remember the negative reception upon its announcement, because it's a pony. I like it, though. I like the episode. I would love to see more pony episodes, even though I feel like the only one... Sorry, the only other ones I think we can get is Discord against Bill and maybe Princess Celestia against somebody. I don't know. Jotaro vs. Kenshiro. This episode doesn't hold up as well as I remember it being, but it's still pretty good. I'd say about a mid 7 out of 10. The rundowns are pretty good, and the fight itself is good. I mean, the animated bits look terrible. I love the JoJo elements. Oh, excuse me. It was a good fight. I was really like sprites. Hope we see more JoJo soon. Crash versus Spyro. I'd say it's about here. I mean, I was confused why they were doing this at first, but now I understand PlayStation mascots. The rundowns are pretty good. It had a lot of good jokes. The Crash's autistic thing's a bit weird, but whatever. And the fight itself is really good. Spyro looks a bit weird with the 4 legs, but first time we've ever had a bipedal? Or is it quadpedal? The 4-legged one. And a 3D animation, so yeah, it's gonna look a bit iffy. But I like it, despite not really knowing these characters. And then Sora versus Pit. I think this episode's a bit underrated. I think it's about here. The fight itself is pretty good. The rundowns are both actually really good, and makes me want to play Kid Icarus and play Kingdom Hearts. I've kind of played Kingdom Hearts. I've played the Melody one on the Switch. And I've yet to play Kid Icarus. I want to play on the 3DS. I just hear it's a bitch to play. What was released on. But the animation's good. The voice acting is incredible. And the score is pretty weak, though. I do like it, though. I think it's kind of an underrated episode. Leon Kennedy versus Frank West. I think it just gets in the mid 8 out of 10. The rundowns are really good, and so is the jokes. I really like the animation for them, and the voice acting for Frank and Leon are really good. It also really got me interested in oh, what the fuck is the franchise? Dead Rising. That can't be it. I think it's Dead Rising, I think it is. Really got me interested in that, and I actually kind of want to play Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. Despite me not being good with first-person shooters. Or not any type of shooter with horror elements. I really like the episode, though. Doctor Strange was Dr. Fate, though. About here, I'd probably say. I don't know. Like, the rundowns are pretty boring for me. I kind of just tend to... I kind of just tend to zone out during the rundown, especially for Fates. I mean, the animation's decent. The sprites are good. I kind of wish it revolved more about magic and less about physical fighting. Like, they fight with their fists a weird amount, given their mages, but whatever. I don't know. It's a good fight, but that's kind of the best I can put it. And then Ryu versus Jin, I'd probably put it here. I don't know. I mean, the rundowns are decent. They both have good jokes. I mean, and the fight itself is good, but I don't know. I kind of forget it happens this season. It's kind of forgettable. It's decent. It's decent. That's the best I can give it. Then Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. Right there. It's a really great episode. The animation's definitely the best part about it. It's hand-drawn and it's beautiful looking. And the rundowns are also really good. I like them. Makes me want to watch Samurai Jack and Afro Samurai. And then Carnage versus Lucy is just ever so slightly better than Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. Again, great rundowns. Really makes me like Carnage as a character, and kind of wants me to get into Elfen Lee, despite being like Berserk, where like I think it'll be a mistake getting into it. Because all the nightmares. It's a really great episode, though. And of course, the Carnage is an amazing track. And then Optimus Prime versus Gundam, Burning Gundam, I think. I don't think that's as great as people say it is after rewatching it a good couple times the rest of the season. Great episode, though, don't get me wrong. I'd put it about... it's hard to really pick a good spot for it. I'd say the top 8 out of 10. Like, the rundowns are great, and so is the fight, and Wings of Iron is just one of the best scores of all time. I don't know. No, I'll put it at the top 5 out of 10. That's hard to say. God damn it. Because Wings of Iron is so goddamn great. It's really good. Really great episode. All I want to say. And then Nightwing versus Daredevil. Up here, it's ever so slightly better than Black Panther versus Iron Man. Not Black Panther versus Batman. Not animation. The rundowns are fine. I mean, I remember a weird amount. I don't know why. I just remember fucking the fact that some girls named Nightwing's ass. What was it? Juan and Jake. I don't remember. I just know the name of his ass. It's just weird. That means our first go at live action, and it could be worse. And there's a good amount of live action parts in the fight. I mean, it's not the best example of what a live action death battle could be. I don't know. It kind of falls on that forgettable spot, but better than this. Yeah. And then Mario vs. Sonic. Far better than the original one, and I'd honestly put it right here. Mid 9 out of 10. Just because the scaling is a bit iffy, and I'm not feeling the blood that was in it. It just didn't feel right. Also, I kind of wish they used a bit different power-ups. I love the cat suit and the double cherry. But I feel like they could... I thought they could use a bit more iconic power-ups. I don't know. I still like it. I still really love it. It's a really great hand-drawn fight. We got 2 this season. Really great animation. Really good in jokes and analysis. And first time we got to see was in Boomstick, who they had a hard time figuring out what to do with them. I will admit that. Start. Ultra versus Sigma. I'd say about mid 7 out of 10. After giving it a few rewatches, yeah, I don't think it's as good as I originally thought it was. I mean, the rundowns are great. The fight itself, though, it has that weird balance to it. Like, there are a lot of great moments, but there's just one moment I completely forgot where they're just fighting in the air and Sigma just kind of phases into the valve of existence to just punch Ultron. I don't know. I like seeing the armies fight. Kind of wish we got more of that shit. Or seeing them fight each other's armies. I don't know. I like it. I think it's a bit overhyped, but I like it. And Infection's a great score, but one I kind of forget about. Same with this one. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah. But then that's Roshi versus Jiraiya. I don't know how to say his name. Right there. Right next to that one. I really like it, and this really got me in, like, thinking about watching Dragon Ball. Both rundowns were really great, and it got me to like both characters, especially Roshi. And the animation is really good. I mean, their sprites don't mesh the best, but it works. I really like how they use their abilities. I really like it. I also kind of like the death. It just feels like it fits. The voice acting is also really good. And then ending it on Thanos versus Darkseid, which, looking back on it, yeah, this was weak. I'd probably just barely put it over Ryu versus Jin. It is a forgettable... I kind of forget that was the season finale at times. I don't know. I mean, the score is fine enough, but could have been better. I mean, the animation's pretty good. I don't know, I just kind of forget about it. And that was season 5. I mean, the lowest we got was a mid 6 out of 10. That's incredible. We got 2 episodes and a high 10 out of 10. Just like season 2 did. But a lot of ones that came really fucking close. On my favorite season, though, season 6, starting with Aquaman vs. Namor, which I think is a high 7 out of 10. Good jokes, good rundowns, and a great fight. I mean, the fucking Colossals look like shithouse. I like the death. I like how the music sounds when they're underwater. Mega Man Royale, here's a hot take. This episode's overrated. Not there. There. That episode is overrated. Whenever I hear anyone bring up the Mega Man Royale, I just hear it being praised, and I don't think it's that great. Okay. This is my view on Royales. They're not that great. Like, the ones between, like, a bunch of different characters of, like, oh, they have this all one little thing in common, I never liked. And then, like, these franchise-exclusive ones, and this also goes for the Pokemon and the Ninja Royale, which is right there and there, where if you don't care or don't know the franchise, most likely you are not going to care about the episode, and I don't care about Mega Man. So, yeah, I'm not going to care about this episode. I'm not saying they should not do these. No, I perfectly understand why people may like these Battle Royales. But I do not like them. I just think they're kind of like exclusive, which is not bad. It's not bad, but it doesn't work with me, personally. Like, they barely focus on Classic and X Mega Man. And what they focus on Volnut is just joke-wise, but that makes Volnut's analysis actually the best one, because it's hilarious. And just Boomstick's fucking freak out over Mega Man Classics, what is it? I'm trying to remember the name of it. I don't remember, the one that Volnut's from. Like, they really only focus on .exe and Star Force. Like, those are the only ones they really focus on, so you know it's going to come down to one of those two. Which sucks. Because it kind of just gives... I remember shit from the OG Mega Man. The Mega Man X, I just remember the Mother Elf. Volnut, I just remember the hilarious jokes. And then the other two, I just remember the fucking feats. I mean, the fight itself is okay, but not really much for me. I like how Volnut just looks way different from the other Mega Man to symbolize he's not long. And Mega Mania is a generic-ass track to me. And then, my least favorite episode of all time, Black Widow vs. Widowmaker. Now let me explain this too. I've heard some people say they like it, and that is totally fine. I don't like it because this is the only episode that make me feel physical pain. It has many of the things that just make me want to puke and just make me feel sick. Like fucking cut, like slit, I can't say it. I can't even fucking say it. Organs, like that type of shit. That's the only things I can even remember from this episode. Like, the fight itself is fine. Models don't look that bad, but it feels kind of slow. The roller coaster scenes, not the roller coaster, the Ferris wheel scene's pretty cool. I like some of the action. It just triggers all my like things, you know. That's kind of why it's my least favorite. It does that shit. Excuse me. Also, the score, Widow's Kiss, it is bad. Like, I love the violin in it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the violin in it. And if they ever do Clementine vs. Ellie, I want it so fucking badly to be a violin score. Just violin. Maybe some banjo, or like regular Western guitar, because that will be fucking awesome and will fit these characters. And violin, I love it in Widow's Kiss. That's my favorite part of the score. God, I'm not a fan of this one. That's why it's at the bottom. And then Captain Marvel versus Shazam. I'd say about fucking here. Nah, here. I'm putting it over the Mega Man Royale. I can't say it's better than the Mega Man Royale, because there's really one thing that I like about it. I'd say it's right beneath it. With Captain Marvel vs. Shazam, and the matchup itself isn't bad. And I know, like, their reason for making it was, like, people that thought they was dumb not to make it when it was made, because that's when the movies came out. I don't know. Like, marketably, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense to do it. Like, even the thumbnail fucking says it, which I don't really like. I mean, I really liked Shazam's rundown. It really actually made me interested in the character and wanted to know more about him. And Captain Marvel's rundown just made her as boring as the first one. I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel. The fight itself, though, I mean, the sprites are decent. I like why the fight started. It's Billy being a kid, but in the body of Shazam. And there's some decent moments in the fight. That's all I can really give it. The death is weak as fuck. I thought maybe he'll open up a black hole. I don't know, it just happens. But then we got Wario vs. King DDD right after, which is just straight up here. That's just where it goes. I love this episode. It is hilarious. I love the jokes with these characters. And the fight itself, the only thing I really did not like was DDD's gums in the sprite. That's it. Everything else, but I fucking love. And Appetites Agreed is such an amazing score. I love the jazz. Piano, violin, and jazz. Those are my favorite things with Death Valley scores. We don't get them often, but when we do, God, I love them. This is a really fucking great episode and a fun one at that. And then... Fuck. Where do I put this? Oh, God. Where do I put Ben 10 versus Green Lantern? Fuck me. Right. Fuck. Right. God. Here. Putting it here. Okay. So, let me get a drink of water. Green Lantern wins. Fuck you, Ben 10 fans. I grew up with the show, too. Like, and it did suck to see Ben take that L, but Green Lantern does take the win. Okay, both rundowns are actually really good. And actually kind of does make me interested in Green Lantern. Though, if I'm being honest, the fucking memes that came from this episode makes me like Green Lantern even more. God damn it all. Also the memes. The fact that the memes are still going just as strong after 2 years is impressive. It's impeccable. Impressible is impressible. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the... Why is the bottom of the screen glitching? That's weird. Oh, so why is it so blurry? Whatever. The animation is great. I mean, I do wish that we had, like, an Omniverse or Alien Force sprite for Ben. Because that matches the voice much better than Kid Ben. And I fucking... God, Ink Tank. Jesus Christ. I cannot view that channel the same way now as I did before. Like, I understand why we got Kid Ben sprite. They did not have time to make a whole new set of sprites. And they had to use a Russian bootleg sprite. Which is surprisingly good for a fucking bootleg sprite. The sprites for the aliens are also really good. I mean, the Omnitrix on Alien X is a bit too big, but it works. I mean, in a perfect world, Ben 10 fans things. In a perfect world, we would have had like the Omniverse sprite and sprites that was the aliens that correspond with Cell's ones. But it still works. It's still fine. The voice acting, though, is incredible for both. But, like, Jesus Christ. Hal's voice is just always engraved in my mind now because of time, huh? Thanks for the tip. I love that shirt, too. But the voice acting and the animation are really great. The fight itself is also good. I do wish we got to see more aliens, but I understand. Time restraints, couldn't make all those custom sprites. I get it. And the way big moment was also really good. I love the dialogue in it, too. It was honestly a really great fight. And with fucking Ink Tank, I think specifically Curl the artist, he does make a few good points, though a lot of his points kind of just come off as, okay, you don't know the show, or you know the show, but you know, like, you've lost this argument, so you're just pulling shit out of your ass. Like, when he said, Death Battle should not have even touched Ben Tennyson, that kind of always felt petty to me. Like, whenever someone says, Death Battle should have never touched so-and-so character, that always felt petty to me. I don't know, that might just be me, but that always felt like some of the most petty, like one of the most petty things someone could say. Whatever. Weiss vs. Mitsuru. It's fine. I'd probably put it about here. About here. Better than I would have originally saw it. The models are fun. The models are decent. It has good jokes. I hope we see more Persona in Death Battle. That would be great to see. If it's Joker vs. Giorno, then I'm scared. If it's Toru Adachi versus Yoshikage Kira, then I'm glad. But if it's Joker versus Giorno, I am scared. Jesus Christ. I will be heavily scared for the results of that shit. But this is a good episode. There's not really much to talk about. It's one of the more forgettable episodes of the season, but it's not bad. Pretty good. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon. Another really good one. I'd say it's about here. The writing's really good, and so is the rundowns. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this. Emerald Hero fucking is amazing. And Falcon on Cage is also amazing. I love the fact that the guy that got the voice, Captain Falcon, voices Zane from fucking a Minecraft drama series. Oh god, excuse me. Fucking A. I am so sorry. But the guy that got the voice, Captain Falcon, his other known role is a character in a fucking Minecraft soap opera. I don't know why, I just find that funny. And it's the best character from what I remember when I was watching. I was a stupid, idiotic 6th grader who should be punted because he was an idiot. Aang versus Edward Aldrich. I'd honestly say it's a mid 7 out of 10. It's not bad. It got me to watch Avatar, which is one of my favorite TV shows now. Record, it was during the mid-break of season 7, but it interests me enough to go watch it. The animation was good. The sprites were good, though Aang's forehead looked a bit too big. The depth was weak, admittedly. The score's really good. Ghost Rider vs. Lobo. It was another great one. It kind of does get overshadowed by other episodes this season, but it's still like a mid 8 out of 10. The score's generic, but the sprites and voice acting and the rundowns are really, really good. And then the Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla. Right here. This actually wants me to go watch the Mechagodzilla films with Kiryu, and makes me want to go watch Power Rangers. I want to go watch these two series. I really liked it. I'm glad we got Godzilla back. And Power Rangers. Sasuke versus Hiei. I'd say about just in at the high 7 out of 10. Almost a low 8, but a high 7. The rundowns are good and well explain these characters, and the animation's good. I think it's because of the background area, but the sprites seem a little small at moments. And it's a bit hard to follow what is exactly happening for some. It was a really good episode. And then Gandorf versus Dracula. Right there. No, right there. This is a really great episode. The animation's amazing. The rundowns are amazing. The voice acting is really great. It was a really good episode. Mob versus Tatsumaki. This is one I think kind of gets overshadowed a good bit. I'd say it's about right under Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Like, the animation is great. It got me to rewatch One Punch Man and watch Mob Psycho 100. The rundowns are good, explain the characters well. I'm surprised Tatsumaki was our first One Punch Man character. This is a really great episode. I like it. I think it's underrated. Deadpool versus the Mask. You either love it or you hate it. And I really like it. This list is just controversial opinions. Mid 9 out of 10. I really like it. It's not meant to be taken seriously. I really like the rundowns and the jokes. And if this is Deadpool's final time in Death Battle, even though I'd love to see him fight Bond from Seven Deadly Sins, it's a good way to end them off. End off the Deadpool trilogy. Though Batman is returning, so maybe Deadpool will. Lord only knows. The rundowns were good. It got me to watch Jim Carrey The Mask, which is probably one of my favorite movies now. The animation is good. I love how it breaks the fourth wall, and how low budget the live action stuff seems. I don't know if it was purposeful or not, but it kind of indicates if it's purposeful, then it's good. It's a good little thing, because they're out of the budget. So yeah, it looks cheap. It's a cool little thing. And then All Might versus Might Guy. Well, Koro Sensei is my preferred All Might matchup. Yeah, I love this episode. The rundowns are both amazing, with the only thing I don't like is the fucking boomstick summoning food and naming it after, like, doing the All Might naming his attacks after America things, naming his attacks after food, and summoning, like, a lobster and shit. That joke I just didn't like. I don't know, I just kind of felt like it killed pacing, but right after made up for it. I'm glad My Hero Academia is in Death Battle. And I binged the entire series, anime-wise, the summer before, so that got me really hyped. I really liked the episode. Really good one. And, wait, shit, that was season 6. My favorite season of all time. I mean, the lowest we got, what was the lowest we even got? Yeah, lowest, we did get my least favorite episode of all time. But we did get 2 more of my favorite episodes of all time, so it balances out. Got a lot of great stuff, too. But on to season 7, we start off with Miles Morales versus Static Shock. God damn it. I hit the... No. Okay. I really like this episode. I honestly consider it at the top of low 8 out of 10. Oh, fuck me. The rundowns great. I really like the animation's amazing. And while I do prefer Izuku Midoriya for Miles, I fully understand why we didn't get that. Hopefully once My Hero is completed, we can get that episode. Black Canary versus Sindel. I don't think this episode's as bad as people make it out to be, but it's kind of just okay, really. Like top of high, 5 out of 10. It's just okay. The rundowns are fine. Nothing really to talk about. Same with the animation. The score is pretty boring. Voice acting. The voices sound fine, but lines and dialogue, the line delivery and the dialogue, I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but it's okay. Then Leonardo versus Red Ranger Jason. Yeah. The animation's amazing, and Leonardo's rundown is really great. I was kind of disappointed when it was announced, just because I was under the impression that Leo won, and this would be Power Rangers basically 0 wins after 4 fucking episodes. And Leonardo's been in 3 episodes, and he would have 3 wins. But I'm glad I was wrong. Also, the score is fucking phenomenal. Genos vs. War Machine, I'd probably put it right there. Not about the Mega Man Royale, but right there. It's not as bad as people say it is. I don't think it should have been a hand-drawn episode of the season. And the hand-drawn part is not bad. You can tell when it cut corners, though. At season 7, you could... I'm holding a bit of my punches, pulling back some punches with this one just because 2020, the COVID. So yeah, I'm gonna be a bit more fair with judging this season. Gray versus S-Def. This was kind of like a guilty pleasure episode for me. Like I kind of just consider it like the top of low 7 out of 10. But I like it. I like the matchup. The animation's pretty good. The rundowns are good, even though it has some curse shit in it. Horny Boomstick is a curse. I like it. Also, Lost Ice Storms. I don't fully agree with the outcome. I think that's just how it was described. I hear it's correct. I don't know. I think it's just how they described it. But then we got Goro versus Machamp. I honestly put it right here. The jokes are hilarious with this one, and I'm so glad Pokemon returns. I really love it. It's a great episode. It was my favorite for the season for the longest time. Cable versus Booster Gold. This is another great one. I honestly put it about here. It's really good. I did not know who Booster Gold was before the episode was announced. And a bit after, I found out people hate him. This episode made me love him. It's like one of my favorite DC characters, even though I've never read a Booster Gold comic. I might actively go out and get one. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Kakashi. Another great one. Probably put it right here. Yeah, right here. Like, it does get hard to follow up points, but it brought back Star Wars, a series that was absent from the show for years. It was really great anime, too. Really liked the analysis, had the good jokes. The Jizz Whaler one is probably my favorite. Danny Phantom vs. Jake Long. I think it's better as people give it credit, but it's not too great. I'd say about mid 7 out of 10. I mean, the rundowns are decent. The animation's fine. Well, it's shithouse when they're in the museum, especially for Danny. Though it was better when they were out of the museum and in the air. It's cool that a creator of a series openly acknowledged the death battle. I think, sorry. Brian Lee O'Malley made a tweet about this one, but it's deleted, so I'm not sure what it was. But the guy that acknowledged it was fucking Butch Hartman, who is a piece of shit. She-Ra versus fucking Wonder Woman. Right there. Wonder Woman has not had a great episode at all. It kind of feels pointless. Why was this the episode that we got left off of for fucking 10 weeks for a mediocre DBX and an okay new series, Death Race? Like, She-Ra's rundown was good, had good jokes, but Wonder Woman's just bland. And the fight itself is boring. Like, there's one cool shot, that's it. The models are bad. I consider them one of the worst, well, the worst models in the season for the longest time. It's just bad. It's a waste, and it's a disappointment. I didn't even expect anything from it at this point, but Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia. Yeah. This is a really good episode. It honestly wants me to read the Sailor Moon manga, because it sounds fucking awesome! I hope we get more Sailor Moon in Death Battle. Also, it kind of gets me want to watch Dragon Ball. Which, that series is 1,000 years long, so, goddamn. Really like this episode. That was a great way to bring back Death Battle. And now, disappointment. Fucking mid. I'll say mid. Mid, 3 out of 10. It's a disappointment. My god. People were hyped for this matchup too. Like, the rundowns are bad. God, the Wiz thing is awful, and I wish they cut it. I got the idea, like, Zuko is technically 91 now, so it's uncomfortable. I don't consider it canon. The jokes were boring. I mean, the fight was meh. Like, it was disappointing though. Like, the sprites don't look that bad. Zuko's is pretty good. Voice acting was good, and the hand-drawn elements, except for one shot, was really good. I like the death. Jesus Christ, could have been so much better. And then Wally West versus Archie Sonic. I'd honestly consider this a good low 8 out of 10. It's really good. Rundown's good. The rundown's good. Both of them, though, the first half of Archie Sonic, until they get to, like, Supersonic, the music is weirdly louder than Wiz and Boomstick, like with Sonia's rundown. The fight itself is pretty good. I wish we got more banter. It was a bit longer, but it was pretty good. The 7 Battle Royale. I consider this a high 7 out of 10. Hey, pun not intended, but this is really good. It was a bonus episode, so I really wasn't expecting anything going into it, but it was better than I expected. And it got me to watch The Boys, a series I do generally enjoy. Also, Billy Butcher is fucking awesome. I love the voice acting in this episode, especially for Billy. The sprites are great, though they do kind of dip into that dorkly area a bit too much. Okay, Starlight sprite is a bit I think it's the hair. But I liked it. It was good. It was better than what it should have been. Winter Soldier versus Red Hood. Right ever so below Wally West versus Archie Sonic. Like, fucking Winter Soldier's rundown was a snore. But holy shit, Red Hood. Like, I did not know. I was kind of disappointed when this one was announced. It was just another Marvel and DC character. But someone explained to me Red Hood, and it got me to love the character and want to know more about him. And it sucks that this was the fucking one that was going to end that DC streak. It sucked so much. I really wanted Red Hood to win. God damn it. That was a really good episode, though. Live action was great. It did end really weakly, though, which sucks. If the ending was better and maybe Winter Soldier's rundown was a bit better, this honestly couldn't get higher up. But it's a really good episode. And then Venom vs. Krona. Many people say it's mediocre or okay. I consider this the best of the season. And just right, I can't put it above those two, but I love this episode. I love it so much. Okay, 1. Krona is my second favorite character of all time. I love Krona. Fucking A, that character's awesome. 2, the rundowns were both incredible, so were the jokes. 3, the animation. I love it. I love the detail put into Krona's sprite and how they react to stuff. I adore it so much. And I originally want Krona to fight Carnage. This is kind of close to that, though it's more one-sided. Though, after doing Krona vs. Shiro myself, I do agree it would have been better if we got Shiro. Venom was Krona's most popular matchup, surprisingly. But I really like this episode. I love it. I also really love Madness and Venom. And Venoms. I love it. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, the tied 10 out of 10s are my top 10. That's funny. Maybe that'll change. Who knows? Sabri Wolf versus John Talbane. This is another good one. I'm glad Darkstalker's got a return. I'd probably put it right here. That's a good episode. I love that it released on Halloween, even though it didn't release Halloween on YouTube, but I wore my costume of Koro Sensei after. Well, on the day of this episode's release on November the 1st. Have that Halloween vibe. I love that it brought back Darkstalkers, because I've always wanted that series to return, even though I don't know much about it. The rundowns were good, especially John's, and the animation was great. It was slow at the start, but it picked up pretty quickly, and then once they're out into the graveyard, it just blew the hell up into beautifulness. Red versus Blue. This was collectively a what the hell when it was announced, and I'd say right here. These are all pretty close with each other. I like it. Rundowns are good. The animation is great. The voice acting, iffy. The blue team is bad outside of... Like, the blue team a bit mixed on overall. Sarge steals the show from me, though, so... Then the episode that became the worst looking episode of the season. This shit. Which I... Okay, I'm gonna move this below there, but yeah, this goes here. God, that was disappointing. I think out of every episode this season, I kind of wanted this to be good the most. Just like the expectations. I don't know if I'm saying the word. Whatever. Speech impediment. I wanted it to be good. It was just... I think this is the most hated announcement for an episode. Like, there's like a handful of people that wanted it, and I'm happy whenever we get a matchup that's underrated or like not requested that much. I do feel good, happy for like the handful of people that wanted it. Because like that shows their voices are being heard. But this, Jesus, if it came out in a different season, maybe. But with the season it came out, was half of it was Marvel, and this made like 19. Well, no. Well, this made 9 out of the 20 episodes planned Marvel vs. DC, and then the season finale was a Marvel episode. That kind of made like almost half of the season Marvel and DC based. People were tired of Marvel and DC. Even I was. I'm normally not tired of a franchise besides Naruto, just because we got too much Naruto. But yeah, fucking A. The rundowns were The only good things I can say from this fight was a few shots in the animation, and that's it. The shots where like the characters are going over the borders, the black borders. That's all that's good. Everything else about it is fucking awful, and it has no reason to exist. Half the season was Marvel and DC. This was already a recap of Batman vs. Spider-Man, a far better matchup. And if Gwen somehow lost, which is a stomp in Gwen's favor, we have Batman Beyond vs. Spider-Man 2099 that has Batman winning. So there's just no fucking reason for it to exist. We already had an SFM fight earlier in the season. Obi-Wan vs. Kakashi. It has no need to exist. Anyway, Sanji versus Rock Lee. I was disappointed when it came out. I didn't have high expectations. I'd fucking say it's a high 4 out of 10. Really. I mean, glad that One Piece was back, but we did not need another Naruto character. The rundowns are meh. Not really anything to talk about. Voice acting is good. Besides Rock Lee's, the voice just does not fit. Or at least it doesn't sound right. I don't know. I don't know the character, so maybe it sounds right to those who know the character, but to me, it does not work. The animation is fine. The sprites look good. Full Course Will is the best score of the season by far. Not by far, as still competition, but it's the best score of the season. The fight feels way too quick. Like, it's And then Hulk vs. Broly. You love it or you hate it. This episode kept me hyped from fucking 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock. 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. I should specify. I think it's just slightly better. Excuse me, than Hulk vs. Broly. They're on par for me. But since I have to put one over the other, God, fucking Christ, sorry. Since I have to put one fight over the other, Hulk vs. Broly just ever so slightly takes it from me. Because this is what got me to start watching Dragon Ball. It made me love Broly's character and want him to win, even though I wanted Hulk to win. The animation was good, Akari is just spectacular, and I listened to that track for like 2 months straight on my walk home. 2 or 3 months straight on my walk home from the bus every day. The rundowns were good, I hear the reasoning was fucking wrong, and I'm unsure if the outcome was right or not. I don't know. That was a mess. I like it. That's what this lesson matters. And that was season 7. Many people say this is the worst season. I think that's kind of stretched. Not counting season 1, season 4 is my least favorite. But this season is right underneath season 2. And the list kind of goes from worst to best: 1, 4, 3, 7, 2, 5, 6. It has its great moments. It has many great moments, but it has a lot of lows and disappointment. I think they should have tried 18 episodes, because they tried for 20 this time around instead of the normal 16. But I think going for 18 and then 20 would have worked better. If I had to cut out 2 episodes, it would have been Batgirl vs. Spider-Gwen and Zuko vs. Shoto Todoroki. Because while this is worse than that, I want this to actually have a good episode, and this does not need to exist. At least in this season. But if we had to cut out 4 for like the full 16 instead, those 2, this episode, and then this episode. I just don't see a reason for them to exist this season. But on to season 8, which we're only halfway through right now. Yoda vs. King Mickey. That kicked off this season really well. And I honestly would put it right about here. This is an amazing episode. It definitely fucking picked up the slack from what season 7 left over, and that 3-month wait that people had. The rundowns were amazing. So was the animation. I was excited for this one. I was really fucking pumped. And it did not disappoint. Really love it. Shadow versus Ryuko. I'd say it's at the top a mid 7 out of 10. The rundowns are fine. The animation's good too. The depth is pretty weak. The voice acting's good, though they kind of did butcher Ryoko's character a little bit. And I kind of wanted... I honestly was not a fan of this one. It has its connections. Don't get me wrong. They're actually the same fucking character. But, I don't know. I rewatched Kill la Kill during the wait for Season 8 Death Battle to come back. And I kind of want this to be the matchup, even though it's most likely going to be. And the other matchups I saw for Ryoko being Tatsumi, Issei, and Krona. Krona we already knew was not going to happen. And I want Issei and Tatsumi to fight each other. So I was like, fine, we'll take Shadow. But I didn't want to see Ryoko get shit stomped so hard. Lex Luffer was Dr. Doom. I was a bit pissed off with this one announcement. It turned out to be pretty good, though I'd say it's about a low 7 out of 10. It's good. It's good, and that's kind of the best I can say for it. Not great, but it's not bad. The animation was good, though I do wish they didn't stop so much to fucking say... to talk. It's in character, yes, but it kills the pacing of the fight. Apex of Doom is also boring as fuck. I like the death, though. Heihachi versus Geese. This was actually surprisingly really good. So you can put this at like the top of 8 out of 10. Okay, wait. Not top, I'd say right here. The animation is really good. I'm glad we got Tekken and King of Fighters back. The rundowns were also really good. I kind of wish it was 3D because it would fit more, but whatever. Voice acting is also good. Apparently, Heihachi kind of just speaks only in Japanese, so that works. Or mainly speaks in Japanese. And then Geese is just known for broken English. It's kind of funny, even though it's kind of hard to understand what exactly he's saying. I like listening to Japanese people try to pronounce English, because you know they're trying, so it hurts to laugh, but then you have that one video of the Japanese girl saying cock when she means to say coke. It's funny, and you do want to correct them, which I would, but it's just like that. I feel bad for laughing. I feel like a dick for laughing, but it's funny. Blake vs. Mikasa. I was really hyped for this episode, and it's not bad at all. But it's about a high 6 out of 10 at best, which sucks. The rundowns were meh. I mean, the fight's decent. It's fucking... It is very fucking weird, though. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm trying to think of the fucking word. I keep saying fucking try to save me more time. Laggy, I think the word would be. I don't know. Like, you could tell there was missing frames when making this, and it does not work. I mean, I think when they start moving really fast, it covers it up, but when they're like standing around, yeah, no, it's pretty fucking obvious. It's a good episode, though. And Thunder Shroud is one of the best scores from the series. And the Death Battle came out on my birthday. Iron Fist versus Poe. Trying to think of what I like more between these two. Fucking A. Okay, it's hard to say what one I like more. Yoda vs. King Mickey is the better episode, but I like this one more. It came out on my birthday, so already it has a special spot in my fucking heart. Because I was so excited for it. I'm more excited for that than my actual birthday. That's sad. I'm so glad this came out on my birthday, because I love Poe, and it got me to rewatch Kung Fu. Well, I rewatched the first Kung Fu Panda movie. I did see the other two kind of recently. I wanted to learn more about Iron Fist. Thank God. This was the episode I don't think anyone expected to happen this season, and thank God it did. And it was so weird seeing them talk about Poe. I love this episode. It was going to be near and dear to my heart forever. And Star Steven, my favorite matchup. And despite the outcome being wrong, and I already made like, what, almost 30 minutes talking about why Steven should take the win, it was great. Where do I put this? Right here. Yeah, high 9 out of 10. It's so close to 10 out of 10. It's so close. I do think it should have been hand-drawn. It would just push this matchup to its absolute best. Like, the rundowns were really good. It was so great seeing them talk about Steven Universe and Star vs. Forces of Evil, where I love the first 2 seasons of Star, and I really do like Steven Universe, especially the first season, even though both of those shows dropped the ball hard. God damn. That's like my most wanted matchup, and I'm glad it came to fruition. Now I just hope for Ori vs. the Knight. The sprites were great, too. I don't agree with the outcome, and they failed to convince me that Star would win. And they also kind of left out the whole Steven can counter all Star shit, so fucking A. Though this is not really it does also add to why Unistar's wank. It's wanking it. But I find it weird they didn't bring up Star not being a member of the Butterfly family, because that was kind of a big part of her character arc. Like, I understand fully why they brought in, like, Rose Quartz was actually Pink Diamond. I don't know, it just felt like, for the structure of the episode, and they already put the spoiler warning in the front, like, in a little box, so go the hell out, go full out, and spoil the Star's not, like, Star's not officially part of the Butterfly family. I don't know, I think they should have done that. Like, whether it would change the outcome or not. And then the most recent episode, Link vs. Cloud, the controversial episode of the season. How the fuck was Star vs. Steven not controversial? Both sides are shit. Everyone really loves this episode. I don't think it's as great as people are hyping it up to be. I'd say about here. Don't get me wrong, this is a really great episode. It really is. I love the ocarina moment. The rundowns are good. I do question some of the scaling, like the whole speed thing was Cloud. And their explanation for it too, and the developed cast didn't make much sense. Though the fight itself, there are some weird moments, like when they're on the motorcycles and a few shots in the church. It's really good. It's a really good fight. There was that whole controversy with the trap brothel dude, but he's in jail now, so that doesn't matter. Those videos were fucking funny, though, of him getting so angry. Oh, God, good thing he's in jail. That man's fucked up. But, yeah, mid-8 out of 10. I prefer, Geese versus Hachi versus Geese. Though I do think it's better than Shell vs. Cloud. But that was my season. Well, that's just my ranking of every death battle. Will I do this again? I don't fucking know. This was fun to do though, and I always wanted to do this. I tried doing this as a regular episode, but I can only record up to 2 hours with that. And I kept fucking up. My computer kept crashing and all that shit. So thank God I was able to do it. And thank God I was able to do it live. I always want to do that. And since I figured out how to do this, I might do more live shit. And since I know my computer won't crash on me, maybe I'll get 2 more streams in before summer ends. And I'm sorry, I wanted to do more streams. It's just like, I just haven't been feeling up to it. I think it's just because I've been so busy over the summer. more than I wanted to. I just wanted to take the summer to relax after one of the most stressful fucking years of my life. The point where I just had a mental fucking breakdown almost every month. Besides during the third market period, that was practically almost every week. Just being overloaded with stress and not really having anyone to talk to about it. But that's in the past. Maybe my senior year will be good. Fucking doubt it, but whatever. After this, I'm done with school. But, yeah, that was my Death Battle tier list. I will do a quick little scroll, starting from the bottom and going up, and so you can take a quick little look. See where I might rank your possible favorite, least favorite episode, who knows. I will go slowly. And after that, we'll end the stream. I do want to do more streams like this, though. Maybe not ranking things on this tier list. I did see like 600 combatants, or possible Death Battle matchups, so maybe I'll do that. But, I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. I do hope to do one more Battle of Wonderland and Tales Symphonia stream before summer ends. Wait, where's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? That's my 10 favorite episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It feels wrong. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh shit, I miscounted earlier. So that was Dante vs. Bayonetta would have been part of the list until these two episodes came out. But yeah, that was the stream. I hope y'all enjoy. I'll make sure to put this tier list in the description. I forgot to do that. But yeah. Can I see how long I've been live for? Let's go see. Then I'm going to probably sleep because it's almost 10:30. Let's see if it loads. God, please load. Otherwise, I'm not sure how the stream might end. Fuck. My computer, there we go. Let's see, we've been live for 2 hours and 41 minutes. We've almost been live for 3 hours, god damn. 13 playbacks, Jesus. But, like I said, I hope you all did enjoy, and, I don't know when the next stream will be. But, yeah, I hope you all did enjoy this, though. Wow, we got like, Jesus. Anyways, peace. If this ends normally, I'm not sure. Yes, end. Alright, maybe I should wait for it to catch up. I don't know. Peace.